In this series, I'll be talking about things you should not be doing with fitness. If your goal is to have that Hollywood physique, most of the things I'll be talking about in this series are very controversial. And for that, I have a disclaimer for you. If you're a bodybuilder and you want to compete on the stage, then this series is not for you. If you're an athlete and you're trying to improve your performance, then this series and channel is not for you. But if you're a normal guy who loves fitness, but fitness is not your job, you just want to look great, feel great, you can afford some few hours during the week to train, you have other things that you focus on, you have a job, you are a busy man, you have a family, you're doing other things. Fitness is not your main focus in life. You just want to look great and feel great. Then this video, this series, and this channel is for you. You should subscribe now. My goal with this video is to get you to stop thinking like a bodybuilder. Yes, you're training with weights. Yes, you're dieting. But your goal is not to step on the stage. Your goal is to look great and feel great. And that's all. Someone like you who just wants to look and feel great is not the same as the guy you see on the stage. There are very many differences. And that's why most guys who try to live their lives as if they compete do not make it. Just go to any gym now and look at how people are training. You will notice they're trying to train like the guys you see on the Mr. Olympia stage. They're using the same routines, they're trying to eat the same way. That means the regular guy you see in the gym is trying to look like a Mr. Olympia, which he can't, of course, but he dreams about it. I am going to give you 5 reasons why you should stop trying to be the next Mr. Olympia. Remember, there's nothing wrong with those guys. They are awesome, they look great, they are big, we love them. So there's nothing wrong with looking at them as someone you admire. But trying to be like them, training like them, trying to diet like them, thinking like them, it's a bad idea for you. Reason number 1 why you should not try to be like those guys is they have great genetics. Their genes are just incredible. For you to stand on the stage, not just the Olympian stage, any stage that people are showing off their physiques, you must have good genes. And the secret to having great genes is choosing the right parents. The thing is, the guys you see on the stage are the minority. There are not many. If you take 100 people and you put them in a line, you're going to have a very small number of them have great genes. Then you're going to have another small number of them have bad genes. Then in the middle, you're going to find the majority of us, people with average genes. And we are the majority. How someone with great genes trains, it's not the same way with how someone with average genes should train. How someone with average fitness genes should train, it's not the same way with someone with below average genes should train. The guy with the great genes can do the wrong things at the gym, but they will still look great. Then the average guy will try to do the same things and they will not see results. And that is the number 1 reason why most guys at the gym do not achieve their goals. Most fitness instructors have good genes. They may not be as great as the guys who compete on the stage, but their genes are above average. This means they could do the wrong things and see results. And since they do not know that the average person is different, they are trying to force their training practices on you, which will not work, of course. Unless you share similar genetic material as someone like Phil Heath, you should not train like him. You should not even try to think like him. Point number 2, you should not compare yourself with these guys because it's their job. The guy sleeps for about 8 to 9 hours. He wakes up in the morning, he goes to the gym, he comes back home, he eats, he might go back to the gym or sleep. That's it. He is not stressed about his boss, he does not fear losing his job. All he does is focus on bodybuilding. You, on the other hand, might be an entrepreneur or you are employed. You have a boss you must answer to, you have assignments, you have things to do, you're thinking about your rent, you're thinking about your kids, you have so many things to think about. And maybe you can only afford 3 to 4 hours during the week to train. Do you think you will ever get to this guy's bodybuilding level? The answer is no. There is no way you can compete with this guy. The same way you cannot compete with him in reality. It's the same way you should not try to think or train like him. Number 3, that guy you want to be like has been training for years. Some of them have been training for decades. When you go back in time and look at their pictures when they were starting out, They don't look as impressive as they are now. You, on the other hand, you're trying to look like that guy within some few months or even some few years. You can't. Muscles take very long to grow. It is a very long process and it takes time. And it is only people who do not train who think it happens fast. You cannot shortcut it. Number 4, these guys you are admiring are not natural. Yes, we have some natural fitness shows, but they are very few. And those natural guys you see there are not very big. Yes, they look awesome, but they are very small. When you see them with their shirts on, you will not think they are the same people on the stage. But these other guys you see on the Mr. Olympian stage and you admire them and you love them and you think they're big and they're awesome, none of them is natural. All of them are on drugs. You cannot be that lean and that big. It is not normal. You must choose one. The 5th and the last one is, these guys you are admiring and you want to look like have better and more resources than you. When it comes to food, they get the right amount of protein. They get carbohydrates from the best sources. They get the best fats. They even have nutritionists in their team. When you're struggling with food, they are not. The ones who are taking drugs and they are not natural also have doctors. They don't just put things in their body. They have doctors who prescribe these things to them. So even if they are not natural, they are safe. On the other hand, someone wants to use drugs, but they do not even have doctors. You take the wrong dosage, it destroys your body, it destroys your life. These guys we admire and love have the right resources that help them achieve the goals they are achieving. It is dumb to think we can be like them when we do not have similar resources.